My earliest like memory of wanting to like be something when I grew up, I wanted to be an author. I
Mm.
was obsessed with reading and I loved Harry Potter and all I wanted to do was like write books and write stories. And then that kind of turned into wanting to be like a director or like make movies. And so I would boss my little sister around in the backyard and we would make video stars like all day and have all these little shoots in our backyard with all of our neighbors and make these little music videos and so that's always what I wanted to be.
What brought you to USC?
I wanted to go somewhere that had warmer weather. So that was a big thing. I kept telling my parents I just want to go to college that has palm trees, and that was a big decision factor for me. But then I toured down here. I wanted to go into business, but I toured down here kind of on a whim. It was like my only school that I applied to that wasn't in the business program specifically. And then I came here and obviously got to meet some of the professors and just hear a little bit more in depth about how the program works. And I was sold, and I heard Masters tournament and all of the really cool opportunities that HRSM has to offer and like has connections with. And I loved it. And I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. I knew I wanted to work in sports in some capacity. I just didn't really know what that looked like. And when I got to have that like private tour, it was like music to my ears. It was finally like, this is what I couldn't explain what I wanted to do. And now I have like words for to put it into. So that was kind of my like dream school. It was warm, had palm trees, and a great sports program.
Well,
HRSM has been everything and more of what I was expecting coming to college. It's been like the best place for community, with friendships, with clubs, with professors, with guidance, with changing my mind, with getting to go and do things that I never thought that I would ever have the opportunity to do. Just the things that I can now say that I've experienced and that I've been a part of, and the leadership experience I've had and the travel experience that I've had and the work opportunities that I have, they have all been so memorable, so priceless, and stuff that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life, and just connections and people and things to look back on that have been so much like more than special to me. Like it was really hard for me to go so far away from home. But I've made a home here. I always like kind of joke that like this building isn't the cutest or prettiest building on campus, but it's my favorite place to go and be every day. Going back to like the first kind of big thing that I got to do with HRSM, I was able to go and work the Masters tournament. I got to work as a beverage attendant and then the next year a food runner in the founders room at Augusta National, which was such a cool experience. I wasn't really interested in golf, and then all of a sudden, I was like the most interested in golf. And just being able to be in the room with the champion of the Masters tournament was such a surreal feeling and experience to get to be a fly on the wall at such a prestigious event and like be in the room where it happens essentially and really get to be a part of that behind the scenes and for that to be like one of the first things that I got to do coming to school here was so surreal and it was phenomenal and I got to brag about it so much when I went home, which was kind of my favorite part. But um and then most recently last year I got to go on the spring break study abroad trip with Matt Dunn to study business of sport in the UK. And we got to go to Premier League matches and Champions League matches and get to tour all of these like professional football facilities in London and Manchester. And it was just so amazing. It was my first time out of the country and just getting to go and experience a completely different sports culture. It was just one of the most incredible things. And I met some amazing friends and we just like had the best time. And I look back on those pictures all the time. So that was another like really, really cool opportunity that I got to do because of HRSM.
and you've of course also done a lot with athletics during your time here. What have been some of the
Yes.
highlights from that end?
Oh my gosh. I've another like world that I'm so thankful for. I've had the honor and privilege to be a new and creative media intern for the past, this will be my third year with them. And through that, I started off as kind of like a general intern, but then got the opportunity to be like the student producer for Gamecock's women's basketball and for Gamecock softball. And I just got to work with those teams and coaching staffs like pretty closely, like obviously like still as a student and under like a full-time mentor, but just getting to be around the behind the scenes and like going to practice every morning, like watching Dawn Staley like in her element and getting to be a part of creating like the docu-series for their undefeated season, and just like having the privilege like last year to be a part of the storytelling of the coaching change in softball and bringing in a brand new head coach Ashley Chastain Woodard and going to super regionals and like hosting super regionals. Like it was just so surreal and so amazing, and getting to be a part of like that sports storytelling is like just such a special like part of my college career, and the relationships and friends that I've made like through all of the staff over in the athletic department and my fellow interns is just it's priceless. It's just something that I can't stop smiling about, and is something that I will look back on so, so fondly. And I'm so eternally grateful for that I've had the opportunity to be a part of that. We're a women's sports school,
Yeah.
so I think all of like the work opportunities that like we all get afforded are really reflective of that. But yes, I did have the privilege of being one of the first members of the Women in Sport and Entertainment Management Club here at HRSM, and I eventually got the honor and privilege to take over the club as acting president and continue to grow it and develop just like this corner of the college, for the girls to network, to hear from industry professionals, like other very successful women in the industry, to go on like stadium tours, on-site tours, and just have opportunities to like develop. What am I looking for? Have other opportunities for professional development. So networking and resume building, and LinkedIn like workshopping, and just connecting even with professors. We held a faculty mixer, and a lot of the girls got to meet like a lot of our faculty and staff that they wouldn't necessarily meet from directly having them in class. So it just serves as a way to introduce the female students with all of the amazing women that work around them and are a part of this world that aren't necessarily like right in front of their face, but just open up the door to look at all of the amazing people that you have like in this network, and look at how successful and thriving like all of these women in the industry are, and like let's get you connected, let's create this alumni network. And now, since the club has been around for more than 4 years, there are alumni that started the club, like the founders, Maddie and Maddie and Madeline, that are off having like their immensely successful careers that we can now point like a freshman or a sophomore towards, um, and be like, here's someone that was also in this club, and look at all of the amazing things that they're doing like 2 years post grad. And it's just served as like a really, really special community, and we've been able to do some pretty amazing things, and it warms my heart to see everyone going to the meetings, and it's a really, really special organization, and one that I hope continues to grow. And I don't think it's anywhere near like what it's going to be, but I'm very, very, very honored to have played a part in it and have had a hand in writing a page of its history. I would say my best advice for any freshman in college would be to really invest in relationships with your professors. I know that that can kind of be a scary thing, or it's intimidating to go up to them after class without having anything really necessary to say. But it'll be one of the most important things that you do in college, and they're kind of just like the most natural like guidance network that you're going to have. And all of the professors here especially care so much about their students and want to see them succeed, and we become kind of like their school kids in a way of, they want nothing more than to just kind of like hear about how you're doing and help you with, I mean, their own connections and networks, and are going to be like in your corner like for the rest of your life, and for the rest of like that professional like connection and that professional relationship. So that's one of the most that's one of the things that I'm most grateful for, that I really like paid attention to and really tried to do from day one. And obviously, like, I still think that I could have done more, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is go and visit the office hours of all of the professors that I've gotten to know over my time here. So that would be my advice. Become friends and create professional relationships with your professors. You'll never regret it. I'd like to thank my parents for everything, for absolutely everything. Um, College was like a really scary thing for me, and my mom had to sit me down and be like, you need to apply to college and decide on college and like have this plan. And it was just something that like really scared me. um, but I'm so thankful and grateful for the amazing role models that they are and the support system that they've been for me, and the they've been my biggest cheerleaders through every single opportunity and accomplishment that I've had and been able to do here. And so I'm so eternally grateful for them. And my sister, who she's the best, and she doesn't really like know what's going on, but yes, my family unit, my parents and my sister have like been the biggest support system, and it's been really hard to be away from them, but I'm so thankful for them every single day, and I know that they're always in my corner and are always going to be my biggest and loudest cheerleaders. Um, I would also like to thank the new and creative media department. I'd like to thank Justin King, Daniel Carter, Eichel Davis, Jalen Wingate. Um, I'm going to forget names, Ethan Still, all of the amazingly talented producers and Gamecock Athletics that have invested in the internship program, invested in me, taken a chance on someone that really didn't know what they were doing when they wanted to get into it, but just was like, I have a passion for storytelling. Can I join your team? And it was really like gun ho from there. And now like that's like what I'm looking to start my career in. And I'm so thankful and lucky that they took that chance on me and have invested in my development and have really been there every step of the way. And they lead by example. And it's a really special thing and a special place to be a part of. And then in the HRSM, uh, thank you to Matt Dunn for being the biggest mentor and someone who believed in me before I believed in myself. Um, he was the first professor that I ever like connected with, and obviously I went abroad with, and I still stop in his office all the time and have to talk to him about like, oh, getting a job is so hard, and just all of the trials and tribulations of life. And he's always there to comfort or console or advise or give you a push when you need it. Um, and it's been one of the most special professor relationships. Same with Laura Truell. Um, she is the sweetest soul, and someone who, again, will always have your back and has just been so invested in me and doesn't have enough nice things to say ever, and can always pick me up and put me in a good mood if I'm having a bad day, and is someone that I know is always going to be in my corner, and I'm always going to be in her corner. Um, so yeah, I'm trying to think of who else I need to thank. Thank you to Alan and Sam, always, our social media crew, because they have just done the most amazing job of like telling all the kids stories and making us feel special and seen, and communicating like how special and how like life changing like HRSM the program really is. Some of my favorite memories from USC have definitely been rushing the field when we beat Tennessee in, was that 2022, 2023, and then again against Texas A&M. So I got to rush the field as like a student and someone attending the game, but then I was working the A&M game, so then I also got to experience it from like the work side of like, oh my gosh, people are running at me on the field. So that was super cool to be a part of, to get to experience a field rush the first time, and then through my internship be a part of like capturing the story of the field rush the second time. And so that was really special and so exciting, and definitely something I'll never forget. Obviously, like I am hoping to go into sports creative storytelling, specifically in video. Um, so dream job, dream career. Um, I would say being a producer either at a collegiate or professional like sports organization. I'd say that's like the dream right now. Maybe a director of creative someday, but to start off, I would really, really love to have a hand in telling their story and being able to kind of capture the magic that is sports.